What is happening, Magnus? So it's official. It's official. Kang has been recast. Interesting. Didn't even wait for him to appeal and see if he could win that. Very interesting. But let's check this out and see what's going on.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to The Cosmic Wonder. I'm your host, Warren, and we have some good news and bad news.
Okay.
Depends on how you view the situation. It depends.
Yeah, bad news if you like on board with Jonathan Majors and you're like, yo, he didn't even get a chance to appeal. Just, So it's like, just chucked him out. Good if you're looking for the other actor, I guess.
Depends on what you have wanted since everything went down with Jonathan
I wanted
Majors.
for the
Because
appeal
it looks
to go
like
through
they
first.
have cast their new Kang the Conqueror. If not, they are right on the brink of casting the new Kang the Conqueror. But the good news is, again, depending how you look at it, they are moving forward with Kang in the MCU. They're not going to just get rid of him. However, it does seem like their plans have changed at least a little bit. But we'll break it all down in this video. And of course, if you're new, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the latest Marvel news. Now, you might have heard the name Coleman Domingo. He's been in a lot, from Euphoria to Candyman, Fear the Walking Dead.
I think people may have talked about him a little while ago. Maybe being a good Kang or a good replacement. His face looks familiar. Like, I don't remember seeing him in something. I remember people talking about him for something. You got what I'm saying?
Rustin in 2023, and the color purple as well. But most importantly, there was a report not too long ago that stated Marvel Studios was eyeing Coleman Domingo to play Kang the Conqueror in the MCU. And Coleman basically has now confirmed he has had conversations with Marvel Studios about playing a character in the MCU. Now, he confirmed he's had talks with them, but when it came down to if he's been cast as Kang or not, he gave a typical Marvel actor response, which makes everybody believe, yeah, he's been cast. Plus, he did indeed say that he is down. He said that he wants to be a supervillain. In fact, he said it would be more fun if he was indeed a supervillain in the MCU. But in an interview with Brandon Davis from comicbook.com on March the 2nd, just a couple of days ago, in the interview, Coleman Domingo addressed the speculation head on. He said, I know what you're going to ask. You're going to talk about the MCU. It's funny how people are online talking about this. And the moment it started happening, literally, I think I was on my couch and I was just like, what rumor? Who? Where's this coming from? I just didn't think about it. The next day I woke up, it's everywhere. And check out what he said next. It's very interesting. He says, listen, my team has had conversations with Marvel about some aspect of the MCU for years. Do I know it to be true or not? I actually don't know. I feel like my team doesn't bring me something unless it's real. So, I don't know. I could be in conversation, but I'm not sure. I would welcome a conversation around it. Now, this could be kind of confusing if you don't know exactly how some specific things happen in Hollywood when it comes to agents speaking to studios about possibly casting the people they represent. And this isn't all that Coleman Domingo said about the role. We'll get to that in just a bit. But first, to explain this part, what he is basically saying here is that his team has said to him that they have had conversations with Marvel Studios on his behalf. And that's what they do. That is specifically what his team is supposed to do. They meet with Marvel Studios, they talk to Marvel Studios about what role they could possibly want him to play, then they go back to him, and they basically tell him all of the information. Ultimately, if he thinks it is a good idea, and Marvel Studios goes, okay, we do indeed think we want him for this role, we would love to meet him.
I don't know if this is exactly confirmation.
Now, that is when the studio would meet with him. Now, it doesn't always work this way. Sometimes the studios just want to go ahead and meet with an actor in person right away before divulging too much to their team. But a lot of the times, of course, it goes through an agent or a management team. So what he's basically saying is his team has met with Marvel Studios. That is what his team has told them, and he believes they don't ever bring him anything that's not real. Right. So, of course, he believes him. His team has met with Marvel. But it's also funny how coy he is playing about it.
The hell is that? What is that? What event was that he was going to?
And this is a typical Marvel.
Why is it when stars get big, they start going places? A lot of the stuff they wear glitter. What is that? Michael Jackson him and a bunch of other stars, they got a glittering, shiny ass jacket that they wear somewhere. That would never be me. Y'all think I just walked out the house. They'd be like, yeah, Tyrone Magnus, where'd you get this t-shirt? I got it from Walmart. Shout out to Walmart, $7.99 t-shirt. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, I'm just glad to be invited to it. Yeah, I just want to see what it's all about. Yeah. Okay, and what am I wearing on my feet? Adidas. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Marvel actor response. The typical Marvel actor response is basically say you don't know. Not to say no, not to say yes, kind of pretend like you don't really know what's going on about it, but basically you can never say yes. Contractually, you can obviously never say yes. Look at Pedro Pascal cast as Reed Richards. That was going on for a while. The rumor and the reports have been out for a while about Pedro Pascal. Then we basically had the leaks from SAG that confirmed he was playing it, but still, no mention from him whatsoever. Of course, he couldn't confirm it because legally he can't. And then Marvel Studios released it on Valentine's Day out of all the days. But basically, Marvel wants to be the people to make an official announcement about it, which is why the actors have to remain hush-hush. But basically, he said he welcomed a conversation around it. Then he said this. In a different interview with Entertainment Tonight, when they were asking questions about Kang the Conqueror, he just decided to address it head on. He said, I don't know. I'm always looking at what I have to do right now. I know there's talk and conversations around, and I don't know how much is true. I don't even get that from my team. I can't tell if it's true or not. The fans are passionate. Somehow my name is out there in the world, and I like the idea of just having your name called, and someone speaking lovingly and kindly about something is a beautiful thing. And I do like how he said that. I believe he's very respectful and appreciative of the fandom. He's already expressed that he would love to join the
only thing that I feel like it could be affirmative is that he said his team never brings anything to him unless it is real. So if he's not Kang, he is going to officially be somebody.
And he did specifically say he wants to be a villain. And again, I think he has definitely had conversations with Marvel Studios about
he wants to be a villain, so that puts
the Conqueror. But of course, like always, he cannot say yes. And in this case, he is simply saying he doesn't know. He's not even saying no. He's saying he doesn't know. Because there are routes that you could go to where you just straight up deny it. Most actors choose to not do this route, and I believe more recently Marvel Studios has actors simply say they don't know. That way, people keep up the speculation and keep up the conversation around it, and it has a lot of buzz. Whereas before, like Paul Rudd straight up said he's not playing Ant-Man, and then of course he was. Same thing with Andrew Garfield when he said no, I'm not the werewolf, and then appeared in Spider-Man No Way Home. But when they say they don't know, it does spark a little bit more of a conversation, even though most of the time when actors say no, we still don't believe them anyways. At least he did confirm something for us though. He has had talks with Marvel Studios, or at least his team has. But I actually think he's probably met with Kevin Feige at this point, and I think he's probably going to be our next Kang the Conqueror, which means Marvel Studios has decided to not move away entirely from Kang the Conqueror. Now, it was The Hollywood Reporter who reported that Avengers Kang Dynasty is no longer the Kang Dynasty, but in fact is Avengers 5. So I'm assuming, if they are correct, and they are a big outlet who does have trustworthy sources, so if they're correct, that means then Avengers 5 isn't going to focus around Kang, and they're probably just going to put Kang to the sideline for a little bit. Give the Jonathan Majors situation some time to die down a little bit, and then bring Kang back in with a new actor, probably Coleman Domingo. Because here's the thing, and I've seen some people talk about...
No joke, I hope he wins his appeal so we can see what happens then. See what the fans say, see what, Disney, Marvel says. That's going to be very interesting, especially if some other stuff comes out in between. Because a lot of people are like, yo, with the decision, kind of like, you know what I mean? So...
this online. They've really set up Kang in such a huge way that a lot of people were really, really excited about.
Yeah, we were, until we saw him get beat by a bunch of ants. They made him look weak, no matter how far up the evolution scale they were, and intelligent and strong they were, they made him look weak. And, it's they have to bring him back and make him look strong for whatever they do. They have to bring him back and make him look strong. I hope he does win. I hope he does win his appeal so he actually can play the character again.
the storyline for him. But
or at least gives a push. It's not like if he wins, it's automatically confirmed he's going to be playing Kang again. That's, so we'll see. But, see how Disney was with Johnny Depp. Now they might want him back. He may come back, he may not. We'll see. I don't know. But, only Johnny Depp knows if he would.
But, and this is why I said it's good or bad news, because I know a lot of people really still wanted Jonathan Majors to play Kang the Conqueror. Well, at this point in time, since Coleman Domingo confirmed he has had talks with Marvel Studios, or his team has, I don't think Jonathan Majors is going to return. Even if he appeals and he wins, I'm not sure he'll be back as Kang the Conqueror. I think Marvel Studios is trying to move on with their plans for Kang, which means they are limited with their time, and the appeal of Jonathan Majors could take a very long time. So they simply have to move forward with recasting right now. Because even though the immediate projects coming up, like Captain America Brave New World, Agatha, Coven of Chaos, Daredevil Born Again, The Thunderbolts, even though some of these upcoming ones aren't going to directly deal with Kang, there are some big projects coming up that are going to have to deal with him. And even Avengers 5 is going to have to somewhat mention him. They don't have to show him per se, but they're going to have to mention him. However, if they do recast Kang with Coleman Domingo, they could have him cameo at the end of Avengers 5, maybe at the very end or in a post-credit scene. Also, not to mention, San Diego Comic-Con is coming up. Perhaps they want to announce a recasting, then introduce the new Kang the Conqueror in Hall H on the big stage. And honestly, I'm a fan of Coleman Domingo. I think he would make a great Kang the Conqueror. I think he's a great actor. I think he puts a lot of time and work into the roles that he gets. And yes, I was a big fan of Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror, but sometimes it's just not in your control. And I think Coleman Domingo would do a great job. And I think he might be our new Kang. I think Marvel Studios has probably talked to him about this.
We shall see.
Probably he's locked it down, but he's playing coy because, of course, he has to. But that's just my theory, just my speculation. Let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. If it is true and he has been cast as Kang already, do you like this casting choice?
Well, we'll see. I don't. I'm trying to think of what I've seen him in. I may have seen him in something in the past, but I'm not sure. We'll see. We shall see. Post comments down below. Let me know what you all think, though. If you enjoyed my thoughts, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. And subscribe to the Cosmic One Dare. That rhyme laid the blade of the game. Bars!